No, bullying is not a good thing. And here's why. Because if I say that bullying can sometimes be a good thing, at least one kid watching this video is going to interpret that as, I'm allowed to bully then. Because some people argue that bullying is good. It calluses you. It gets you ready for the real world. Because the real world is tough. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not nice. And if you have a bully when you're younger, you get used to it. You know how to respond to it. I understand that argument. And I agree to a point. Let me further explain. Let me tell you my bullying story. So people ask me all the time, Shane, why did you start a self-defense martial arts channel teaching other people how to fight, how to deal with their bully? Were you bullied as a kid? And I used to always say no, because I truly believe, no, I was never bullied. Looking back though, I have probably the most typical bullying story ever. When I was 11 years old, my parents moved to another neighborhood. I moved into a different school, and the first day I got into a fight, and I got beat up. I didn't even fight back. I was too afraid to even fight back. And I pretty much just feedled up and got pounded on for a little bit. The teacher broke it up and we both got suspended. And that's one of the things that really angers me about schools nowadays is a lot of them have adopted the zero tolerance policy. And that's when if you get into a fight, whether you're the bully or you're the victim, if you fight back, you're getting suspended, you're getting expelled. It doesn't matter what the story is. Even if someone comes up to you and just starts punching you in the middle of the hallway 4 or 5 times, you turn around and punch them back, you're both getting suspended, you're both getting expelled. That teaches the absolute wrong thing to kids. That teaches that if someone is hitting you and you fight back and defend yourself, which by law you have the right to do, you're going to get in trouble for it. I mean, I can't be the only one that thinks that's insane. Some people will say I have an old school way of thinking. This is how my parents brought me up. If anyone touches you, you defend yourself. And you don't do it in an excessive way, right? If someone hits you with one punch, you do enough in your ability to stop them from punching you to stop the threat. If someone slaps you, it doesn't mean that you can take them down and beat them to a bloody pulp. That's excessive. And I still don't even consider my case bullying. I consider it kids fighting. That's normal. That's going to happen. And then for the next 2 years at that school, whenever I saw him or his friends, we would immediately get into a scuffle. But I always stood my ground, and I'm so happy that I did, because if I hadn't, if I had been worried about getting suspended or expelled and not defending myself, who knows how I would have turned out. And as you get older in the real world, I mean, I really follow the advice that my father gave me, which is I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Meaning I'd rather take it to court and have to explain myself and have the jury decide whether or not I was lawfully just, rather than not fighting back and being killed, being carried by 6 pallbearers. And growing up in Philadelphia, you have to be hardened. You have to be able to defend yourself. You can't wait for someone to come and break up a fight. In fact, I've been in street fight scenarios where if I hadn't fought back, who knows what would have happened. I would have got my head stomped in. So yeah, in that argument, is bullying a good thing? I wouldn't consider that bullying. I'd consider that kids being kids. Bullying, gang violence, repetitive harassment in person and online, that's the kind of stuff we need to get rid of. So I'm talking to the bullies, I'm talking to the bullying victims. It's equally both your parts in order to stop this. I mean, everyone watching will agree that bullying is never going to disappear. It's not. It's never going to disappear. It'll always be here, but we can slow it down. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I've donated thousands of dollars to anti-bullying charities, the ones that I believe in. Is it perfect? No, because you have to be careful what you teach kids. Even me, even with what I'm saying right here, but I feel it is my duty to talk about this topic. I get too many private messages from kids telling me that they are contemplating suicide because of bullies. Think about that. Let that sink in. And if you're watching this now and you don't even realize you're a bully, but you may be doing some bullying behavior, you may be harassing people, making fun of people on a constant basis because of their race, gender, sexuality, social status, family's financial status. I mean, think about it. What kind of person do you want to be? If you imagined your life as a movie, do you want to be the guy that's a jerk, a bully, and picks on people all the time? Does that make you feel good? Why does it make you feel good? Explore these feelings. You know what feels a hell of a lot better? Sticking up for someone who's being bullied. And if you're an adult watching this and you've been known to argue that bullying is a good thing, think about what you're saying. Are you really talking about bullying, or are you talking about kids fighting? Kids are going to fight. That's just in our human nature. I think it would be a lot better if, as a parent, you guided them towards martial arts, where they could fight, where there's a ref and an ambulance on site and rules. That's going to be a lot safer and more controlled, but they have an outlet. Their outlet is in training, their outlet is in sparring, their outlet is in fighting in competition, not in the streets where they could fall and hit their head on a curb and never wake up again. So, when I say fightTIPS is an anti-bullying channel, look at all the stuff that we're teaching. We're teaching you how to be confident. We're teaching you to be a good person. And if all else fails, we're teaching you how to defend yourself. But that is the last stage. That is the last step. You shouldn't have to get there. You should be able to recognize bullying behavior and avoid it completely. You should be able to verbally diffuse an argument. And if you have bullying tendencies, we want you to recognize it and stop doing it. Be the good guy in your movie. Be the superhero. Don't be the villain. Let's start a conversation down in the comment section below. I have a feeling people are going to have a lot to say on this topic, and I want to hear it. Let's have a non-hostile, positive chat. Until next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips for the underdogs.